This episode is brought to you by Coffee Mate. Coffee Mate is the world's biggest coffee lover because we love all the ways you enjoy. Wait. Coffee Mate can't love coffee more than me. I'm a foodie. I went to Kyoto just for a nitro matcha latte. What? Oh, I have to finish the ad. Coffee Mate, for the love of coffee.
Alright, what's up guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss Show, and in today's episode, I wanted to talk more about gaming because I feel that some people are not fully understanding when I say that I want to just play a video game and have fun. I get that a lot of games nowadays be wanting to add a challenge to the video game, but at the same time, I'm not trying to be challenged. I'm just trying to play a video game and have fun. Because when you think of video games, what's the, I feel like the main thing that people need to think of when they're thinking about video games is video games are supposed to be a stress reliever. It's crazy how you'll see these posts on social media. At times, I be thinking these posts are fake because I'm like, fam, I done played multiple video games this year that done stressed me out. And I'm like, to me, when I see those posts where they're all like, oh, this study shows that video games cause a 50% decrease in your stress levels, and I'm like, fam, then explain to me why is it that I played Black Myth Wukong and I got stressed out playing that game. Explain to me why did I play Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown and I got stressed out playing that game. Explain to me why I'm trying to think of some other games I done played where they done stressed me out. Or it's like, and that's the thing that people want to defend these games so much and then claim that it's a skill issue, and I'm like, to me, there ain't no such thing as a skill issue. I refuse to believe. You either know how to play a game or you don't know how to play a game. But a lot of these video games be having tutorials on how to play the video game. That's overall how I look at it. As long as I know how to play the game, then I'm saying, it ain't something where it's like I'm trying to be welcome into the community. But at the same time, it's like I do feel that I am a part of that community where I go out of my way, whether it's cold outside, it's hot outside, room temperature, whatever the situation is, but I go out of my way to buy a video game, and I feel like you done watched videos on it, you done heard things about it, you done read things about it, you seen everything that you need to see about a video game to know that, hey, this might be a game that I want to try out, this might be a game that I want to, play and all that stuff. But it's like, that's like you're telling a person they don't know how to eat a pizza because it ain't the typical pizza that they know how to, hold on, because it's like there's always this random number that be calling me and stuff, and I'm like, man, let me take my watch off because I'm like, that is distracting. But anyways, but yeah, it's like that you're telling a person they don't know how to eat a pizza because they don't like how a particular pizza tastes. Like, oh, you have a skill issue eating a pizza. No, I just don't like how it goes about. My thing, all right, so I guess if I could, I feel like because that example, I just kind of jumped into it, but didn't really explain it. So let's say, because, when you look at games like Black Myth Wukong and Elden Ring, overall, I look at those types of games as fighting games. It's in a form of fighting. So let's say you go to, you're known for, I guess, with fighting games, you haven't played a lot of different fighting games, you have an idea of what to overall do in that game, and it's like, okay, it's like you're fighting with something. I feel like that there ain't really no skill issue with that. You get into a fight with something, your main objective is to win that fight, correct? So, let's go back to this pizza example, right? So you go to a restaurant, you get a cheese pizza, you like it. You go to another restaurant, you get another cheese pizza, you like it. You go to another one, sell it, so on, so on, so on. Then you go down to this new restaurant where they add some sort of challenge when you eat the pizza and stuff. And so they're all like, oh, well, when you come here and you eat our pizza, it's there's a way of eating it. And it's like, what do you mean there's a way of eating it? I gotta go at eating a pizza with a strategy? What sense does that make? Why would anybody want to do some stuff like that? You're gonna look that person in the face and tell them that they have a skill issue eating a pizza, when in every other pizza restaurant, they just have it where it's like, as long as you know how to eat a pizza, fam, yeah, it's gonna probably taste a little different, it's probably gonna look a little different, but overall, if you can eat down that pizza, whether it's a slice or a whole pizza, you know how to eat a pizza. All right. Now, because I go to this restaurant where they want me, oh, you gotta do a backflip before eating our pizza so you get a better experience when doing it. Oh, you gotta do a handstand. Oh, you gotta play tag with all the cooks in the restaurant before you sit down and actually eat the pizza. And if I can't do that, then it's a skill issue. You see how silly that sounds? That's why when they be trying to tell me that, I'm like, I'm not hearing that it's a skill issue with a fighting game when I've been playing fighting games or games like Black Myth Wukong and Elden Ring all my life. So when people are telling me like, oh, it's a skill issue, I'm like, fam, I'm not hearing that. I'm not hearing nothing about no skill issue. So my thing is this. Let's say if I were to get into modding, right? And then I would have just mod out my character to where it's the other way around, where it's no longer them taking me out in 2 hits, I'm taking them out in 2 hits. Then people are gonna be looking at me like, oh, well, you're cheating the game. Well, my thing is this. I might not be able to use the skill issue the game issues me, but I'm gonna use my own skill issues, and I'm gonna make it to where the game is more so in my favor. I look at it as like this. I done went out of my way to buy this game. I should be able to get whatever experience I want to get, right? So it's like, so going back to the pizza theory, I decide to bring the pizza home. I'm like, well, no, I ain't gonna do all that. I'm just gonna eat the pizza. So it's like, you're telling me I'm cheating the system of how that restaurant goes about eating a pizza. I'm just trying to eat a pizza. Why I gotta do all this extra stuff to eat a pizza? My thing is this. Or it's like, if I just like, all right, you know what? No, I'm just gonna go ahead and just make my own pizza. So it's like, what? It's like people want to sit down and argue about stuff like that and want to just jump right to the, oh, it's a skill issue argument. No, my thing is this. You spend 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 plus dollars on a video game. I should be allowed to play that game however I want to play it. Even if the game is free, you're still taking the time to put out. That's like you're telling a person, even if you're giving out free samples, you're telling a person, oh, you gotta eat the sample in this way. No, you want me to try out this sample. I am going to try it out however I want to try it out. But it's like, it shouldn't be a situation. Even it's crazy to me when I look at some free games out there where they don't even have it. Where I look at video games like Warframe, for an example. Warframe, that, in my opinion, that's a game where it's all like, yeah, you have to have some skill. You have to have like some reaction, some speed. Like, you really have to have some skill playing that game. But that's the thing, though. I played that game, and I feel like, in a way, I've mastered it. I've gotten good at that game. So it's like, you're going to look at me because it's like, oh, if I struggle with a mission. No, the crazy thing about it, right, is let's say a person gets halfway through one of those video games and then, they get halfway through one of those video games and then it gets to a point where they struggle on the mission. And then all of a sudden, they done got halfway through, they done beat up all these bosses, they done took out all these different types of enemies, then did everything possible in that game. They get all the way to like some significant, like crazy or over-the-top difficult enemy, and you gonna tell them they just got halfway through this game. You're gonna tell them that they're having a skill issue. Meanwhile, they just beating up all these different bosses and all this other stuff. No. That to me, how I look at it, there ain't no such thing as a skill issue. It's either a video game is difficult or it's not going to be difficult. But it ain't no in between, no skill issue, this, that, and everything else that a person wants to say to defend the game. And I'm not trying to say that the game is bad. I think a lot of people look at it as that, oh, because I say I'm struggling with a game and I don't like the experience, I'm saying that the game is bad. Elden Ring, Black Myth Wukong, I think if those games, if you're able to get through them, then the game is going to be looked at as good. But if not, then it's like, I'm not going to say good things about a game that I can't even get past. Why would anybody want to do some stuff? That's like a person getting food poisoning. Let's say the random pizza restaurant. That's like a person saying that, they got food poisoning, and then they start talking good about the restaurant. Why would somebody do that? Why would somebody talk good about a restaurant and I just got food poisoning from them? No, how I look at it, the whole restaurant is contaminated. So my thing is this, if I'm playing a video game and I can't get past the very first boss of the game, fam, I'm going to look at it like, okay, well, I didn't have a good experience going up against this first boss. So what makes you think I'm going to have a good experience going up against any other boss in the game? See, that's what I overall mean by like, there are some video games in this world that's just straight up unfair. To me, that just doesn't make any sense. And then it's like, then I get looked at as the bad guy if I mod the game and have it where I take the enemies out in 2 hits and it takes them 100 million hits to take me out. How is that fair? Somebody explain that to me. How is that fair? That's like any of the developers behind Black Myth Wukong or Elden Ring or any of the Dark Souls or them types of games. That's like one of those developers going up against Prime Mike Tyson. And they don't have no boxing experience. They don't have, so you're going to tell me that that's a fair fight? No. That's not a fair fight. You need to get, and even when there were boxers and people, and that's the crazy thing about it. It's like, that's something where I'm like, even if I did specialize in these types of games, I'm not trying to hear nothing about no skill issue. It's like, you're telling a professional boxer they got a skill issue because they can't go up against prime Mike Tyson. That I'm not hearing that. I'm not hearing that at all. Cause I'm like, or prime Floyd Mayweather or anybody else in the boxing world. But it's like that's something that a professional boxer is not gonna want to hear, that they having a skill issue. So I look at it as like, yeah, I might not be a professional gamer, but I look at it as that I have experience in video games, whether it's a racing game, whether it's a shooting game, whether it's a fighting game, any old types of video games out there, you name it. I've played a game either like it or I have played a game popular in that genre. I'm not going to have nobody telling me that I got a skill issue with, okay, so yeah, let's say there's a shooting game out there. And I just felt, the crazy thing is like with all the different types of shooting games that I've played throughout the years, that's like somebody telling me because I can't get past the first mission in Call of Duty, oh, you have skill issues. Meanwhile, I done played and beat all these other different Call of Duties, but all of a sudden I play this one where it takes me pretty much like all the magazines and the bullets that I have on me to take out one enemy, but they can take me out in 1 or 2 hits. How does that make any sense? Like, honestly though, that, like, you sit down, you think about that in realistic war terms. You're going out to war, right? Like, yeah, let's say World War III starts. You come across somebody like on the enemy lines, right? You come across somebody on the enemy lines. You use every bullet to take them out. And you're trying to figure out what is going on. Why am I not being able to kill this person? They get up, one hit, take you down, and it's like, and you're dying. This person, you shot them 100 million times, they shoot you once, you're dying. You're going to question that. You're going to be like, nah, there's definitely some sort of nerf or something going on with me. Because I'm like, did my gun have any bullets? Like, you're going to be questioning it and stuff. So that's what I'm saying. It's like, if you know what you're overall doing, how can there possibly be a skill issue? I know that I'm supposed to fight this, like, magical creature out in the woods. I know I'm supposed to win this fight. How is that a skill issue? It's like people don't want to look at it as like the game is working against you. They just wanted that. It's people like that where it's like, yeah, you had a good experience in the game. That doesn't necessarily mean that I had a good experience in the game. So that's why when they be trying to come at me with that skill issue crap, I'm like, I just don't even be listening to it. Because it's like, I've been playing video games long enough to know that I ain't got no skill issues whatsoever in any genre. That's like somebody telling, and I just know that there'll be people out there saying no, they have. That was like when I got into it with them test drive fans on Twitter, they were trying to explain to me that I was having a skill issue with the racing game. Although, let's just list off some racing games real quick. Hold on for a second, because I'm like, I need to see racing games. Let's just see. I done played Forza Motorsports and Horizon, Assetto Corsa and Assetto Corsa Competizione. I done played just about every. Let's see how many Need for Speed games that done came out. Need for Speed game list. Let's just see. I wonder if they got like a Wikipedia page. Games. Let's just see. I've never played the first Need for Speed. Second, okay, so let's just go from the ones that I played and stuff. So I played Need for Speed Underground. I played Underground 2. I played Most Wanted, Carbon, Pro Street, Undercover, Shift, Need for Speed Nitro. No, that was for the Wii. I never played that. Need for Speed World. I do remember playing that. Hot Pursuit. I played that. Have I played Shift 2 Unleashed? I don't think I feel like I might have I feel like I either have it or I don't. I don't know. But anyways, I played The Run. I played that new Most Wanted, or the last Most Wanted game that they came out with. I played Rivals. No Limit, never played that. Played the that 2015 Need for Speed game. Played Payback, Heat, and Unbound. So you gonna tell me I didn't play all those Need for Speed games? But anyways, let's continue on, because they got like a gang of games on here and stuff. So I said Forza Horizon Motorsport, Assetto Corsa, Need for Speed. I played other test drive games, Burnout, Asphalt. Let's see, F1. They consider that a game, a racing game. I mean, it is a racing game, but Lego 2K Drive, Grid series. So yeah, I played Grid 2, Grid Autosport, Grid Legends, that other Grid game. Like, it was like a new version of Grid that came out. Played those. Let's see. Played a little bit of Trackmania, Split Second. Wreckfest. Let's see some other games on this list. I played a little bit of Flat Out. Project Cars, Grip, I played that. Let's see, The Crew. Did I say Project Cars? I feel like they had Project. Yeah, okay, I said Project Cars already. Let's see, Dirt Series, Gran Turismo. I done played a lot of different racing games, and you gonna try to look me, well, not look me, but you gonna write to me on social media and tell me that I'm having a skill issue. See that, and that's like people that don't know absolutely nothing about you. It's like, that's why I am having to come out and say and do episodes like this and say that I've been playing video. It's not like I just started playing video games yesterday. I've been playing video games for a long time. Ever since I was let me just give you guys a little bit of a history lesson with myself in video games. I got into video games at a young age. Both my parents were into video games. My dad played a lot of Legend of Zelda, and my mom played a lot of the Mario games, and she even played a little bit of Mortal Kombat at one point in time. So my sister, she also was into video games at one point in time. She was more so into The Sims. But she would play some of the games that I played. Like, she did play a little bit of Grand Theft Auto. I remember I think she did play Tokyo Extreme Racer Zero for a little bit and things. I'm trying to think of some other games that she played Enter the Matrix. I remember she actually got all the way. She was mad at me for doing that too. She played that game. She got all the way to the end of that game, and then I think she got to the last mission, but for some reason she just stopped. I don't know why, but no, yeah, she got to the last mission. And and then I ended up beating the last mission for her. Oh, she was so mad about that. I was like, fam, you can go back and play the last mission. Like, it ain't like, it wasn't even like achievements and stuff was a thing back then. But, oh yeah, she was mad about that. But no, my sister, she played a little bit of video games. My uncle on my dad's side of the family, that was somebody where I have to say that I learned a lot of my video game knowledge through him. Like, he got me on Grand Theft Auto, he got me on Fallout. I'm trying to think of some other games he got me on. He was the one that gifted me Enter the Matrix. So the game was technically mine, so I don't know why my sister was mad. But anyways, but he did get me into some video games too. So I was literally surrounded, and then including friends that I went to school with. So it was impossible for me to be surrounded by that much video game action and then not know nothing about video games. But yeah, I got into video games at a young age. I think I was either 2 or 3 when I very first picked up a controller. My mom got me into Mario Kart. I remember playing Mario Kart, that one Mario like castle game for the Nintendo 64, because that was like the first console that I had played on and stuff. So I started off on the Nintendo 64. Fast forward some years, got a PlayStation 2 on my birthday. Fast forward some years after that, got a PlayStation 3 for my birthday. I bought my first PlayStation 4 and 5, and then with the Xbox, I didn't get the OG Xbox until this year, but my mom bought me was it my mom or my dad? Somebody bought me the Xbox 360. And then fast forward years after that, I remember my mom had bought me the Xbox One. That was the last console she got me. But anyways, then I went out and got me an Xbox Series X. So, but yeah, throughout those years, I know, and then like Steam, Epic Games, I'm saying, like, throughout those years, I got into a lot of different video games. Having those consoles and then having a gaming PC, I got into a lot of different video games. There were some games where I had no idea what I was getting myself into, but I played those games for the first time and was like, yeah, I have an understanding. I had to say probably the only types of games I'd be struggling with is like those space strategy type games. Where you having like spaceships, you gotta like go and be flying around doing all that. It's like kind of like games like EVE Online. What are some other games? Yeah, but like games like that and stuff. But anyways, but even then, I remember playing that game. The only reason why I didn't really sit down and play that much of that game because the game crashed on me. But I'm open to playing that game again. But anyways, but it's like that would probably be the only game where it's like it's hard to understand it. You know, it's like I can't fully understand that game just because it's a difficult game to like process, and it's like it's overwhelming. It's got a lot going on and stuff. But anyways, yeah, I done played definitely hundreds of video games throughout my life, if not probably well over 1,000 video games. And I'm like, there's even games where I got like I have like a list of games that I am going to beat at some point in time. But I'm like, fam, games where I have struggled with them, it ain't because it's a skill issue. It's because there's an unfair game going on. Now, my thing is this: one game, or no, actually 2 games where I thought that it helped you build up, like in case, because there were 2 games I had no idea what I was getting myself into, but it was Destiny and The Division. So with those 2 games, they have it it where you're going up against like the same leveled enemies as you and stuff. But how they do it is that they'll have it where it's like, so when you start off as a level 1, then they'll have it where you're a level or they'll have it where the enemy is a level 1. But that was one thing about, and that Destiny was more so doing that. The Division, I don't think they had it where you came across enemies where they were a high level than you and stuff. But anyways, no, Destiny would have these areas where they would they just have some random enemies there, but they'll have like question mark. They'll have it where it's like, nah, them enemies is too powerful. And they have it where it's like, when you get to a high enough level, then you could go up against those enemies. How come video games couldn't be like that? How come they had it where it's like, you got me being a level 1 fighter going up against a level 100 fighter? They have experience. I don't. So put me up against some unexperienced like AIs or NPCs in the game. So it's like, if we have an equal experience, then it's like, okay, cool. There shouldn't be no struggles about it. There shouldn't be no problems about it. But yeah, Destiny, they have it where it's like, if there is a high level enemy, you wouldn't be able to go up against them. You be shooting at them, you be doing all this other extra stuff, ain't doing nothing to them. But then all of a sudden, that you get to like a level 10, then it's like they show that they might be a level 15, but now the level done appeared. So it's like they're letting you know it's possible to take this guy out, but it's going to be a struggle. You might want to wait until you get to a level 15 or something. All of a sudden, you look up one day, you a level 30, 40, whatever the highest level, like you done got to the point where it's like you done elevated into a whole different like leveling field. But they have it where it's like all the enemies is like still at their same level and things. They might be a little bit higher and stuff. But anyways, but yeah, you'll go up in that like cave or in that area where the enemies is the high level enemy is at. They have it where their thing is grayed out. Like now you're the one that's gonna be like it's gonna be a struggle for them to take you out. And they're gonna be shooting at you, they're gonna be hiding, hitting like spin moves and all this other stuff, hiding behind rocks. All of a sudden you just hit them with a punch and they done, dead, gone, disintegrated, no longer an enemy in front of you. They are no longer an enemy in your path. They are gone. They might respawn the next time you play the game and stuff, but in that fight, done for. Same with the Division. They have it where it's like when you're a level 1 player, you're going to be going up against other level 1 enemies and stuff. And it's like, yeah, they might have like the PvP options where you're going up against high level people and stuff, but still, it's the same thing. If you guys are the same level, then it's going to be a fair fight. But it's like, you cannot look at me and tell me that it's a fair fight in Elden Rings or Black Myth Wukong when it's like they could take me out in 2 hits, but it's going to take me pretty much, an hour or however many times, like after a certain amount of times of dying and then leveling up a little bit, then I'm able, last I checked, I know for me, and I know it's out there for a lot of other people, nobody buys a video game to continuously keep dying and crap. I don't know who goes out and buy video games to be experiencing things like that, but I know I don't. So that's what I'm saying. I'm like, video games, yeah, it might not need no difficulty settings, but it needs to be a little bit more fairer to the fairer word, regardless. It needs to be fair to the player. They don't went out of their way on buying the game to support you guys. But to me, that just doesn't, I don't look at it as like, oh, the video game, when the developers be all like, oh, we done sold 5 million copies, like, yay to us and all that. But I'm like, how many people are playing that game? Yeah, you guys might have sold 5 million copies, but there's probably only, 2,000 people that's playing that game. Not everybody is playing that game because you guys, let's just see. I wonder if they have, like, how many copies did of Elden Ring? So, how many copies of Elden? 25 million copies. But let's see how many people are playing this game. Elden Ring, Steam players. I know they ain't gonna be everybody, but let's just see. So, all-time peak. So, they sold 25 million copies. It was released in June 20. Oh, that was like the DLC and stuff. But anyways, how many copies? So yeah, they just say 25 million. But there's all like players currently playing the game right now is 34,000 players. And then there's like all-time peak 2.5 years ago of over 900,000 players. And in the past 24 hours, it has over 54,000 players playing it. So I'm looking at it as like, okay, either, and I'm like, yeah, there's probably people that unbeaten the game and then I moved on and unplayed something else. But I'm like, how many people turned that game off because they realized that, yeah, this game is unfair? It's like, you guys got me going up against enemies that I can't even, like, I have to, like, travel around the whole world of the video game to come back to them. Do you think my thing is this? Do you think if I done elevated, that's like a janitor. All right, so yeah, let's just list off a building right now, right? Something like another scenario. You're pretty much telling a janitor that had a difficult time cleaning a bathroom that they are going to have to become the boss of that whole company to go down and clean that bathroom. Why? What sense would that make of me going back? If I'm the boss and I done moved it all the way up to the top of the building, I'm not worried about that bathroom. I'm worried about the boss stuff that I'm gonna have to be doing. You see, like, that's why nobody gonna want to go back and travel all the way and take out that boss. Like, oh, I'm now powerful and like and mighty. And to me, that would just seem so pointless. Let's just say if I did listen to people that were trying to help me play the game. Let's say if I listened to them, went all the way, completed every other boss in the game, I come back to that boss. Let's say I still die on the first hit. Why would I want to experience that? So that's why I'm like, yeah, people, look, I get that if you're a fan of that game, you can 100% be a fan of that game. But that doesn't mean everybody else is going to be a fan of the game. And I guarantee and I promise you, one of the main reasons on why people are probably not a fan of that game is because it's too difficult. And that goes for any other game out there where it's like you want to have this over-the-top challenge and stuff going on. Yeah, a person ain't going to want to play no crap like that. They don't want to spend no $60, $70, $80, $90 for no video game. And then it's like I'm out here struggling with it. That just doesn't even make any sense. That's like that's like paying $20 for a pizza, and it's the most toughest pizza. Like, you then lost the tooth eating this pizza. Do you think you're gonna want to continue eating that pizza? No, you're gonna want to throw that pizza away and probably get your money back. So that's what I'm saying. I'm like, people really gotta look at it from like other people's perspective. Yeah, you're a fan of the game. That doesn't necessarily mean everybody else is gonna. Just because you're a fan of the game, that doesn't mean everybody else is gonna be a fan of the game. So, anyways, with that being said, I will talk to y'all later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening. Stay tuned for the next episode. Like, subscribe, viewing this on YouTube. Follow, subscribe, viewing this on the podcast streaming service. Thank you guys, and peace.